Get in the know with video. Marketing, that is. Hello and welcome to the Sales Podcast. I'm Wes Schaefer, the Sales Whisperer, your host. This is your home on the web for honest, no-hype insights, advice, and inspiration to help you sell more, faster, at higher margin with less stress and more fun. When I got out of the Air Force in 1997, I had a wife, a baby, another one on the way, and I had to put food on the table, which meant I had to be productive. I had to be efficient. I had to be successful at making sales, and I was. Over the next decade, I continued to succeed in various industries across the country, even across the world, which led me in 2006 to starting the Sales Whisperer. Since then, I have built a big business and a big family, and I have fed my family, provided for them based on my own skills, my hard work, my dedication, my insight. And now I give you this podcast as a free tool to help you learn what I have learned over 20 plus years. Another free tool that you can use to grow your sales is available over at thebestsalessecrets.com. Head on over there, and it's over 21 pages of advice, things including the 7 keys you need to apply to win at sales, how to look at money, and the true purpose of the sale. So again, head on over to thebestsalessecrets.com for that free tool. And now on to the show. Allow me to take a moment to provide an extra introduction on this episode. I've got Owen Hemsath, a good friend of mine here in Southern California. He owns the Video Spot. He's a great marketer when it comes to video. And he has been battling cancer. We recorded this on August 19th. I'm launching this episode on October 1st. But as of the middle of September, Owen has been given a clean bill of health. So that's obviously great news, but he and I get to pick on each other about cancer and rehab and chemo and pregnant wives. So just wanted to give you a little heads up on that. We also recorded a simultaneous Periscope and Meerkat as we were doing this interview. So you'll notice kind of an abrupt jump into this. And I wanted you to just hear some of the chatter before the mic went live, if you will, because usually I would export this and just go straight to the, welcome to the show, blah, blah, blah. So, but he and I chat for a few minutes. You can just hear how we're talking about different things. We're getting the mic set up, getting the accounts logged in. So if you want to fast forward a few minutes, you can, but I encourage you to just listen in on a couple of old dogs, old pros, if you will, getting things queued up and ready to go. So enjoy this episode with my cancer-free friend, Owen Hemsath.
There is a lot of noise out there, but I think that one way to look at this, at the live stream strategy, is looking at how you're going to use it. Some of my clients, we don't promote, like, you don't need to be, excuse me, the Periscope personality, right? But why not reach out to other active Periscopers and present yourself as a potential guest for their show? Sure. And get exposure that way.
Well, and those are the things I want to talk about, because people see all these. It reminds me of going back, 20 years, desktop publishing. Hey, I don't have to go. I can do everything on my own. It's like, yeah, you can, but you know what? I can change my own oil, but I don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
But people forget at the end of the day, you have to be interesting, right?
You have to be interesting.
Let me hold my fancy business card holder / iPhone Periscope thing. You have to be interesting. Just because there's a medium, just because there's a way to get the word out, doesn't mean you need to do it.
I can't help but be interesting, and that's a curse.
Well, I know.
It's a problem for me.
Well, you have to be. You got a face for radio, but you're still on video, so you must be interesting.
Is that how you talk to cancer patients?
Dang,
you look at chemo patients, and you're like, man, you are ugly.
Look, call your wife or your mother for the cancer sympathy card, okay? Look, it doesn't work with me.
I love it, man. I love it. I can't find my subscription on Paris or on Meerkat, so I'm just going to start a new one, and we're just going to get rolling with this. It looks like it just completely disappeared. But it's this technology. It's new. It's changing.
This is Owen. So we're gonna say that like when my wife has been pregnant, 10 times and 7 births.
For your annual baby?
For our annual baby, she plays the old, I'm pregnant and forgetting things kind of card. But, so we're going to let Owen play this one time that, I'm rehabbing from chemo, so I forgot my Meerkat account. But that only worked once.
It's funny that you say that because my wife has compared, my situation to her pregnancies constantly.
Yep.
She's like, oh yeah, my back did that when I had my C-section. You know what I mean? I had that taste in my mouth when I was pregnant. It reminds me of that old Cosby Show episode where all the men were pregnant. I don't know if you remember that episode. And they, Bill Cosby gives birth to a hoagie and a 2 liter of orange soda.
So that's kind of bad. I mean, even having chemo, cancer isn't as tough as being pregnant. I mean, men can't catch a break, man.
It's tough, man, especially like the, you're rich white male. It seems like we just can't get a break these days.
Can't get a break.
You're upper class, middle class male, poor guys.
We have no challenges.
Yeah.
It's just all roses and butterflies and Tiffany cufflinks.
And entitlements, right? It's like entitlement this and entitlement that. Oh. So I'm just a guy trying to scrap out a living. That's all.
It. Just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
So I'm over here. I got my Meerkat going. It's good to see Christine here. I'm looking forward to talking with Christine. I got a call with her today at noon. And we were talking with Wes Schaefer, the Sales Whisperer. The guy is on fire. He's got lots of great content. I've actually never seen it, but he keeps telling me that he has great content.
My mom says she really liked the one that she listened to.
The One Piece. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to be looking over here, talking to Wes and kind of going back and forth between the Meerkat audience. And I'm hoping to share some great content today.
All right, so are we ready?
I'm ready, man.
I'm going to leave this right here. They can kind of see me in that little bottom screen. So we'll begin officially, at least for the, I got a little hummingbird out the window. We'll begin officially for the sales podcast so I can export that out. Everybody can obviously.
Is my mic okay? Am I on this mic?
Yeah, that sounds really good when you do that. So all the things that professionals.
I don't want to test my preferences. I just figure I'll just annoy Wes with this and see how that goes.
All right, you ready, my brother? Everybody can see behind the scenes here. Stay hydrated. I don't want you passing out on me because I got
coffee, I've got a protein shake, and I've got my water right here.
All right, good.
I'm not afraid to use it.
Here we go. Owen Himsath, thevideospot.net. Welcome to the Sales Podcast, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here, and I'm alive and kicking. So you're going to have a handful of me today.
Hey, I'm glad you dressed up for this interview.
I did. I'm not wearing pants. And, see, you have an advantage in the podcast world. See, on video, I can get away with not wearing pants. In the podcast world, you don't have to wear anything. As a fact, Wes is just wearing a hat right now.
This is the first time I've worn clothes in 3 weeks.
Yeah, love the life of an entrepreneur.
So we got that going for us. So, hey, man, thanks for coming on. For those that don't know you, would you mind taking a minute or two, tell everybody a little bit about who you are, what you do, and we'll dive down the rabbit hole?
Yeah, I'm happy to. I'm Owen. I'm the president at thevideospot.net. We're a YouTube marketing firm. We, our clients hire us to shoot video for their landing pages or build out YouTube channels. And then we have a YouTube marketing course that is a big percentage of what we do, where we work with brands, businesses, and thought leaders and put together a YouTube strategy that includes, marketing, optimization, video tactics, and you name it. And we're pretty gosh darn good at what we do.
Hey, man, thanks for keeping it PG, all right? I appreciate it.
I do my best.
All right, so video marketing. A, why do video marketing? And B, how did you end up creating a business around that?
Yeah, video marketing is, as I think, in a place right now where it's established. It's kind of like well known that everyone should be on video right now, and we're seeing this in a couple different ways. Number one, we're seeing just this explosion of video-based apps, right? We're seeing it not just in our space, the marketing space, but we're seeing this in healthcare. We're seeing a lot of healthcare apps that have portals for their clients where you can interface live with the nurse, the registered nurse, the nurse practitioner, and in some cases, even your doctor on his mobile phone. One of our clients, Span Systems, has developed an app where you can actually ping your doctor. So the marketplace is screaming, is trying to fulfill this need to satisfy everyone's need for video. Meerkat, Periscope, YouTube Live just relaunched their user interface today. I posted about that on my Facebook. So the marketplace is telling us that video is where people are spending our time, but their time. But we're also seeing this in the analytics, right? YouTube is putting more video in the news feeds of people that watch video.
Right.
Now, couple that with the national statistic that shows that most or a lot of Facebookers are actually spending their time watching video. YouTube has more unique hits per month than Facebook, and that's on a global level. So we're talking more than 1 billion per month. Over 400 minutes of video are uploaded to YouTube every single hour. That's more than you can watch in your lifetime. So we are seeing it in the marketplace, right? Producers of video-based products are out there producing, fulfilling, creating supply. But the demand is on the back end. People want video. Why? Because it's through video that I can create a direct relationship with you, right? It's a one-way relationship. We call this a parasocial relationship, where me as the host of the video, just like the host of your podcast, I'm able to look into the camera and directly engage my audience, while at the same time, my audience is able to look me directly in the eye and see the authenticity that I bring as a creator, or that you bring as a creator to the table, and a relationship is formed. Video is more effective at closing sales, generating leads, and developing a relationship with your audience that leads to those two other KPIs.
I really need you to look at me when you're saying this.
Look at this guy. Already, the jealousy it's creeped its ugly head in.
Oh, please. Oh, since I was a kid, my parents used to hang a pork chop around my neck so the dog would play with me. You know, it's how
it reminds me of one of my favorite comedians, Jim Gaffigan said. He says, I have more photos of my kids than my dad ever looked at me. And I had a very attentive father for my teenage years, my early years. He was that dad. He was just like, get out of my way. He's that 1950s.
That's awesome.
Non-involved parent, but high school came and everything changed. All of a sudden, I could play sports, and I became valuable.
All right, so video is here to stay. A lot of people still don't realize that Google owns YouTube, right? I always tell people.
Yeah. Or Alphabet now, I think, owns Google. I don't know if you knew. Google set up a new umbrella company called Alphabet. Blah 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 blah. Google it.
Oh yeah, Google did. I was thinking Facebook did, but it was Google, right? What is it? ABC.xyz?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep. So interesting times, but people don't realize that Google owns YouTube. YouTube is the number 2 search engine in the world, right? Yep. And people are like, oh, well, really? But I always tell people in marketing, when you're trying to grow your business, I say take notice of what you take notice of.
Right.
Right. I'm trying to get them to step out of the consumer role and say, what's capturing your attention? And if it's capturing your attention, think of your prospects, right? Because we are not our clients. So just because I like something doesn't mean my clients would like it.
I agree.
But if you're noticing it, and if you can get inside their minds, and if they're a similar demographic, similar interests, then it's probably going to get their attention as well, right?
Yeah.
And so, video is here to stay.
It's here to stay for now, and that's one of the, just if I can interject here, it's here to stay for now, and I think that the way video is done is going to change dramatically over the next couple years.
Sure.
I think we're going to see. For example, last year, we were talking about video's the future, but live streaming wasn't really on the table.
Right.
Now, I've been doing live streaming presentations for my clients. Typically, the thought leader client, they're doing a webinar, they're doing an event, they'll call us to shoot at the venue and live stream it. But, we have, broadcasting tools to make that happen. Now you've got it in the palm of your hand with Periscope and Meerkat. So the way video, I think, is going to be evolving and changing. Do we include animated GIFs in that? Do we include PowerPoints with voiceovers in that? I think we're going to see a lot of different ways to do video, and that's going to be really exciting.
All right. So for somebody that's listening, though, and they're new, maybe they're an employee, maybe they're a new entrepreneur launching out. What I've always seen is that most people, they fail because they don't launch, right? Very little launch. Good old Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, right on.
And I'm always, my claim to fame, if nothing else, is that I'm not afraid to experiment, right? And unfortunately, Pat Flynn took the phrase from me, the crash test dummy. Let's see what works. I'm always doing that.
He took that from you?
Well, he didn't take
You
it
should
from
sue
me.
him.
I should. But he has it on his website, and I love it. I'm like, hey, can I use that? Because I'm kind of the same way.
Exactly,
I'm testing stuff. I'm like, oh, that didn't work, or it did work. Today, you and I, 40 minutes ago, say, hey, you want to do this live? Yeah, let's do it. I don't even have a stand, right? A tripod. Just throw it in a box and, hey, let's figure it out. It can only get better from there. But most people are afraid to do that. They're afraid to hit send on their first email newsletter. They're afraid to start doing video.
They reread that email 5 times before they click send.
Yeah, 25 times, and they never send it.
Right.
Or they think, I've got to buy a fancy camera. I've got to buy a fancy lens. I got to get a green screen. I've got to get, super fancy lighting. I've got to get halogen, yellow tint film. But they don't, right? How can people, what can you tell them to do to start, today, tomorrow, doing their first video? What should somebody do that has never done video?
Yeah, you're definitely right on about like the analysis paralysis, the overcomplicating video, and video is a little more complicated, right? With Instagram, with imagery, you can create 5 templates, right, for a couple $100 by hiring a great graphic designer, and then you outsource the ongoing production of those images on Fiverr or elance.com, and so you pay this ridiculously low cost to have these high quality images, right? And that might work well on Facebook and on Instagram. With video, you have to be intimately involved in the process, right? Most people that I work with want to be the star of the video, right? They want to be the host. So that's going to require time. It's also going to require planning, but it also requires equipment. So what we've done to break up the overwhelm is we really just start with a workflow, and creating a workflow that functions like a checklist, where every time you check off one item, it moves you from that step to the next step. So let me outline, sort of the beginning process and how you should start creating a video marketing strategy specifically for YouTube. And I put that YouTube disclaimer in there because, excuse me, YouTube functions like YouTube, right? There's great content, how-to, educational, tutorials, screencasts. These do really well on YouTube. They don't do really well on Facebook. Right. So on Facebook, you make video for Facebook, right? Typically really short branded messages that they're not going to have a call to action or do this now because it doesn't really work on Facebook video, right? You want to be making product for the platform that you're going to be presenting on. So let's start with YouTube. And the first thing that I would say is, what videos are you going to shoot next?
Yep.
Right? You should always have a stockpile of potential video titles that you could at any moment in time pull 5 of those, put a camera in front of you, and start producing the video. Now that might seem a little daunting at first. Oh my gosh, I gotta sit down and create 50 potential video titles. Look, this is what I tell my clients this with a smile on my face. If you can't come up with 50 potential video titles to serve your audience, you are not an expert in this field. We need to think about what you're doing as a professional. Right? Now, knowing that this information should pour out of you once you get past that initial, I have to sit down and actually write this on an Excel form kind of kicking rocks attitude. You sit down and you just pound out, right? You answer the questions your audience is already asking you. Here's our basic approach to that. Number 1, the 5 W's. Who, what, why, where, when, and how. Right? So I'm not the only YouTube marketing guy on the block. I think that I am the best guy when it comes to making money on YouTube and working with businesses and brands, right? When it comes to being a big YouTube star or going viral, that's a different thing. So what I do is who is Daryl Eves? Who is Amy Schmidauer? Who is Jeremy Vest? And these other thought leaders in the industry, and I do reviews on their channel, right? So we take those 5 W's and we start building out this big list of questions. I had a client come up with 75 titles in 35 minutes following that 5 W's format. But you can also go to step 2, which is your FAQs and your SAQs, right? What are the buying objections that your audience gives you or that your prospect gives you after you say, so are you ready to take the next step? right? Cover your buying objections in a video and send that video to your prospects the day you meet them. Preempt their objections through an automated process that they get an email that says, hey, was really happy to meet you today, and I hope to continue our relationship. Tomorrow, you're going to get a video that I think you're really going to enjoy. It's going to explain a little bit more about what we do and how we can serve your needs, right? And this is all done through like Aweber or GetResponse or whatever, MailChimp. You know, you put them in your system, and it automates these videos out to them. Very, very effective way to start, right? So always knowing what you're going to shoot. Step 2 is having the second part of this is having a video format. Right now, you've got 50 videos on an Excel form. How the heck are you going to create 50 videos? That is daunting, right? Here's the trick. You create a format. Now, at VideoSpot, we have a template format. We call it our 6-point format for business videos. And in that format, we have 6 steps to writing a video. Now, every client is going to add, take away, augment these in just a little bit. And even as we're growing as a company, we're finding that there are new ways to produce content that are just as effective. But let me outline that 6-point format. And this is all well documented on our YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com and then search for VideoSpot, you'll find the 6-point video format. Don't search my name, though, because you'll find a whole bunch of incriminating stuff on YouTube. So kidding, kind of a joke. So the idea is the 6-point format. Step 1, what is your snappy headline? You have 15 seconds to engage your viewer. What are you going to say to get them to watch? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to close the sale in 30 days or less. Stay tuned. Bam, you got your headline out there. Step 2 is, do you have a graphic bumper, right? An animated version of your logo that kind of pops out on screen and lets everybody know who they're watching. It's very important that you do this second because the audience is less interested in your logo than they are in you actually helping them to solve a problem. Right? They're more interested in how to close that sale than they are in your branding and your logo. But your logo needs to be there. You have to earn the right to show them your logo through that snappy headline. Then you go into your body copy. This might be 10 ways to do X, 3 different tips for Y, the number one thing you need to know about ABC, and so on and so forth. We try to keep that limited to about 3 minutes of content for this specific format. Step 4 is to have engagement assets. You know, This is like, I got this cancer cough coming up. Give me 1 second.
Come on, man. Hey,
it's funny. It's not a cancer cough. I don't have lung cancer. I have a very wimpy cancer. Like I have the type of cancer that people go, oh, like I go to these cancer groups and they're like, you have what? You know?
You may stand in the back.
Yeah, seriously. They're like, that's not a cancer. You know? But so just to give everybody that out, that's why we kind of take it lightly. Yes, I'm bald, and yes, I lost my illustrious beard that I've been growing since I was 23 years old. But you know what I mean. Everything's going to be all good as of this winter. So okay. So
all right.
In our latest
video,
video,
what was number 4?
Engagement assets. Number 4, engagement assets. This is a truly valuable aspect to your marketing. In our latest video, we did not include this. We rushed it out. We skipped this step, and we only have 7 likes on a video that's been viewed 1,000 times in its first week. Wow. So yeah, it was like, bonehead move. An engagement asset is an animated graphic that pops up in your video and asks the viewer to like or engage with you in a meaningful way. So what I typically do is I'll say something quippy, a video should always be XYZ, and then a little pop-up will show up that says, like this video if you agree with what I just said. Typically, we get around 4 or 5% of our viewers will like the video, and that's on point with the national average. So it's very important to include those to increase your shareability, your likability online. Step 4 is to close out the video.
Okay.
A lot of people forget.
Hold on a second. That was 4, right? Engagement assets?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, but walk me through that, though.
Sure.
Are you editing the video and throwing it in almost like a commercial? Are you just
Great
talking?
Question. No, it's happening while you're speaking simultaneously. Step 3 and 4 happen at the same time.
All right, so I'll be giving this video, hey, the 7 deadly sins of selling, and hey, by the way, while you're if you agree with, people are afraid of money. You know, if you've been afraid of money, but you've overcome it and you know that's an issue, click like right now and then kind of just take a breather or just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay.
Just keep going. And I love what you just did. I mean, that is a great way to do it. Now, typically, I don't verbally ask them to like it.
Okay.
I just have a graphic that pops up that says, like if you agree, and then has a quippy little quote.
And you can do that natively inside of YouTube now, right?
You certainly can. Editing is like the most overwhelming part of the process, and yet it's really the easiest to execute if you have a plan in place.
Right.
You know, we recommend using Elance or Fiverr.com to find a good editor at a low price and participate in the global marketplace of video editing. You know, you guys, what a lot of people don't understand is that when you hire someone in Pakistan at $8, $9 an hour, they're feeding their family off of that $8, $9 an hour. And that's, I believe, is a very noble thing to feed families in less privileged countries than ours.
Right.
You know, whereas editors in the US might charge $25 an hour. And then, you know, they're taking 7 hours to edit a video and it's artistry this and artistry that. Look, you got a job to do, go get it done.
Yep.
So that's how we build in engagement assets. Step 5 is to close out the video. You know, it's so funny. So many people don't do this, but to end the video. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's tip. Tune in next time, and we'll see you on our next video. You know, let them know the video's over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is where you're going to do your call to action. This is where you're going to say, you know, hey, and if you liked the content that you heard today, don't forget to download my free ebook, The YouTube Marketing Blueprint, where we give you the tips, tricks, and strategies you need to be successful on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. This is the only part of your video I recommend you write out and memorize.
So just cutting off the microphone and going blank, no?
People do that.
Like, okay, we're off.
Yeah. Cut.
No, don't do that.
This is what my clients do. For you guys that can see me, this is what I have people that come into our studio. We have a green screen studio in North San Diego where you can rent it out and come in and shoot. I got clients that will do this at the end of their video. They'll go, and that's how you become a great real estate marketer. Am I done?
Are we done?
Is that it?
Is it still rolling?
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, you didn't read the email I sent you last night, did you? How to prepare for your video shoot. So step 5 is to just close it out, call to action, never say goodbye. Always say, I'll see you in the next video, right?
Yep.
And the idea is you don't launch a channel until you have at least 5 videos up. You know, step 6 is just a closing branded bumper. This is an optional step. We recommend it. It's just like at the end of watching a TV show on NBC, the peacock pops up and goes ding, ding, ding. Right? This lets you know that the video has ended and it reminds the viewer of your brand. So following that process, right? 2 steps. Knowing what you're going to shoot and then having a format for writing it out and delivering it on camera. This is how you're going to get 5 or 10 videos done in one 90-minute session.
Gotcha. So this is if they come in with a professional like you, right?
No, this is anything. Whether they come in for a professional, like if they don't want to work with the equipment, they want to hire us or someone else, you follow the same format. If you're DIY, like most of my clients are DIY, right? They want to do it themselves or they have a staff.
Yep.
Right, PPS Plus is one of my clients. They've got a staff. They got 7 people working on the videos.
Right.
So we have a natural workflow progression there.
Right.
Either way, you follow the same format.
Right. Now, I agree 100% with everything you're saying.
Not surprised.
But I did not start that way. Now, I'm a little more outgoing maybe than some people. You know, it's funny. In some ways, I'm a perfectionist, but a lot of ways, I'm happy to pull the trigger and ride the bullet. And a friend of mine always comments when I see him on one of my videos that, you know, I was sitting right here, had my window open. You know, we're in Southern California, nice weather. My neighbor started mowing his lawn. I'm just like, hey, hold on a second. You know, and I get up and, you know, I close it and say, okay, so here we go. Keep, you know, it took 2, 3, 4 seconds, but I didn't edit it out, right? I was like, you know, I'm going 90-0. Yeah, maybe I should have. But he's like, dude, I just love it. You're just real. So is that okay? I mean, should people just start if they're afraid of making a 50 items and they don't have a bumper and they don't have the graphics and the stinger and should they just start?
You know what? I have mixed feelings on that. I think that you do need to do some prep work before you start. You need to eliminate choice and risk. Did you read the E-Myth?
Sure.
by what's his name?
Yep.
In the E-Myth, he talks about systemization and how you need to eliminate choices from your business model so that you're following a process. It's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You need to do that to some extent before you put your camera on a tripod.
Okay.
Right? Because there's plenty of these guys out there in the entrepreneurial small business world that took a few theater classes in high school, maybe even did some community theater, and they're thinking, hey, I love to be in front of the crowd. I'm going to be good at this. I'm going to free flow it. That's awesome. That's amateur. Right? A professional plans his day. A professional, schedules the meeting. So I do recommend that you act as a professional and you say, here's the format I'm going to follow, and then you try to follow it as best you can. Now, obviously, the gardener's going to get in the way. If it were me, I might do something like gardener, and then cut the video. And then come back to the video and say, sorry about that. I had to fire my gardener for starting the lawnmower. It's the 5th gardener I've gone through this month. You know what I mean? These guys, they don't listen.
I need the big red light on air. Just throughout the cul-de-sac.
The thing is, and the point is that what we both did in those both examples of you getting up and shutting the window and then me doing a small edit is that we were both being our personalities.
Right.
So that's what I would recommend going. You're going to have to improvise, do what is natural, without freaking your audience out. If you go to this place where you're 2 minutes into your video and then the lawnmower goes off and you feel like you got to start all over again, that's an amateur move, bro. Like, you need to you have to make a decision beforehand. What are you going to do when distraction comes? Are you going to play through it, or are you going to, cut and do a jump cut situation?
Right. And I think the problem is, that's why I wanted people to see a little bit behind the scenes here, is that, dude, Are you rapping and I can't hear it?
I'm trying to engage my Meerkat audience.
I gotta hear it, man. Should I engage the Periscope? What's up?
You got. I find that on live streaming, you have to engage the audience. They're nice enough to join you. So, Christine, Teresa, David, hey guys, I'm glad you guys joined me on Meerkat. That's just a few of the names I see in the room. But I'm over here. We're doing a podcast. We're doing a Meerkat. It's awesome.
Ty Money just joined. What's up, Ty Money? All right.
Give us some hearts.
I'm letting you see behind the scenes, so we're just figuring this out. So stick with us. But the content's good. So I feel like people they see one of two extremes, and they'll see success with both. Right? They'll see professional, well lit, scripted, yada yada.
Yeah.
And somebody have great success, thousands and thousands of views, thousands of likes.
Victor Antonio type stuff. Right,
Yep.
Jeffrey Gitomer type stuff.
Yep. And then they'll see like a Grant Cardone, just, hey, everybody, look, I'm making a shake right now. This is a good shake, and look, here's my view, and you suck if you don't have this view, and you need to be doing Periscope. But I'm like, you're not Grant Cardone. You don't live in a high-rise penthouse on the beach, and so you're not that interesting.
Right.
But those are the extreme examples. Like, well, I want to be Jeffrey Gitomer. I want to be Grant Cardone. It's like, well, you know what? Those guys worked for 30, 40 years to get where they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And they don't have small databases. I mean, Jeffrey Gitomer does a video, and he's a good friend. He's a client. He does a video, but then he blasts it out in his email list, which is, a few 100,000 people.
Right.
So that video is going to get views because he's built an audience, a database, and YouTube was Jeffrey was already a big deal when YouTube was launched in 2006.
Oh, sure.
So doing the videos does not excuse you from building an email marketing list and a lead generation funnel. We teach a lot of that,
right.
If not all of it, in our YouTube marketing course, because the idea is that they engage with you on YouTube, and through that you have an offer that is so irresistible they cannot help but click through to your ebook, your free consultation, your 15-minute meeting, whatever it might be. And now you've got them on your email list where you can continue to market products and services to them.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because people forget that, the old Stephen Covey, right? Begin with the end in mind. They think, hey, I'm just going to make a video. It's going to be fun, and I'm going to get popular and famous, and people will just find me and throw money at me. They'll look me up on the white pages and just mail me cash.
I've heard that.
But it doesn't happen, right? You've got to begin with the end in mind. It's like, why am I making this video? Where am I going to put it? What's going to happen? I'm going to take this and export it and put it up on YouTube, and it's going to link back to my site. I'm going to export the audio. I'm going to make it a podcast. It's going into the stream. I got notes over here on the left. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but everybody on Periscope can. I'm taking notes. So I put those notes on. As soon as you hit my website, there's a pop-up. Embedded within there will be another offer at the very bottom, and the signature is another offer. So, I mean, That's why I'm doing this. That, is to build this body of work and bring people back in to my list, my home on the web, because you don't own YouTube. I don't own YouTube. Nobody owns Periscope. Nobody owns Facebook, right?
YouTube gets sued tomorrow and they crash and burn. Guess what? You still own your email database.
Exactly. So you got to begin with the end in mind, and that is driving traffic to your site, not just to visit, but to opt in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. To opt in, and you got to have an irresistible offer. You got to have a pop up, and do you remember the Micro Machine Man from I think it was like the 90s or the 80s?
The
micro machines. He's got these commercials where the guy would talk, hey, I'm the Micro Machine Man. I guarantee if you guys are listening out there, tweet me and say, I remember the Micro Machine Man. But you just reminded me of that as you were talking about your sales funnel, which is very sophisticated. And you're the Infusionsoft guy. We approach this as if your company has nothing in place. And here's the thing is some of my clients, they've got a very robust, active business, and they develop software, and they help large companies, medical companies that are doing multi-millions of dollars per year, but they won't have a simple lead generation program in place. So we put together very simple systems, and I want to say hi to Austin. Austin is saying, what's up? Hey, how you doing on Meerkat? Developing that funnel is as simple as creating an ebook or a 5-part video course, right? Creating a web page that requires a password to access those videos. Creating a landing page where they put a name and an email where you get them a password. And this is simple. This is done in WordPress for $5 with plugins. You know what I mean? We show people how to do this. And then creating videos that each one or every other one, you don't want to oversell it, right? A pack of gum is 89 cents. The cashier's not going to sell that to you. Right. You know what I mean? You just kind of mention that it's there in every video or every other video with a link that goes back to it. Right. That is a simple 4-part funnel. And then we add to it. We add a $7 offer in the end, right? I don't make any money on $7. Well, if 1,000 people download it, you do. Yep. Right? Absolutely. Because what we show you is we're going to show you how to put ad spend behind your videos, $25 to $100 a week, and get thousands of pre-qualified views, meaning YouTube only shows this video to people that have met a criteria that you've laid out. It's just as sophisticated as Facebook. I say that with an asterisk. There are some features Facebook has that YouTube doesn't have. I don't feel that those make a big difference, but there are lots of ways to gain views and to convert leads and subscribers using video. And if you have an e-commerce website, product demos, man. I used to have my very first internet marketing venture, right? When I got fired from the radio gig, 7 years ago, was selling tasers and stun guns online. Nice. Yeah, my dad and my mom couldn't make it work, and they got tired of it, and they turned it over to me, and I was like, I'll try this internet thing. Started making YouTube videos of product demos. You know what I mean? This is how the stun gun works. And I would never stun myself, right? Because that's what everybody wanted to see. And this is what I would do. I would say, look, this stun gun is 4.2 million volts. It is not a toy that I take to a trade show to stun myself. I have a family, and I'm not going to put myself in that kind of danger. This will stop a criminal. The guns that you see, if I'm willing to tase myself at a trade show, I'm not going to stop a drug-addicted criminal who's trying to rape you. No. Right? Sorry for the graphic language, everybody. That is how I sold a crap load of stun guns using YouTube. And I obviously, like the gold rush, I saw more value in selling shovels than I did in actually digging for gold. Sure. So I started marketing that to businesses that could make more money than I could with it.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I've got a ton of videos and have gotten a lot of visitors, made a lot of money, more importantly, doing simple demos of Infusionsoft.
Yeah.
And people often, they make it too complex, right? I mean, it could be a 3-minute video, 2-minute video on how to log in. I mean, instead of an 87-minute video on how to build, an 18-step campaign.
Number one question I get from my clients, how do I upload a new video?
Oh my gosh.
Super simple, basic. But you know what? If you don't use YouTube every day, if you're not signed in when you're on YouTube, like a lot of people are not, and that's going to change with the whole Google Plus merge or split But it's just not a part of what you do. You don't know where the upload button is.
Right.
And so making these 2-minute videos that answer the basic questions is really how you build a loyal audience. Because they say, Owen taught me everything that I know about YouTube. I got a couple leads from it, and I'm going to buy his course, or I'm going to go to his event, or whatever the case might be.
Sure. So, I love that. I mean, keep it simple. So what do you recommend about videos, like on doing a screen share or an instructional, so maybe you're just a talking head in the bottom, or not even, do I have to show my face in a video?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and it goes back to your point about every video needs to have a purpose. I'm writing an article right now for the National Speakers Association's monthly publication, and I'm covering this exact same topic, so it's fresh on my mind. The idea is that every video has a monetization pathway in it, right?
Okay.
So whether you're producing you're doing a book review. Let's say you're doing Wes Schaefer's the Sales Whisperer book. Is this worth your time? I'm going to do 10 reasons, 10 do's and don'ts, or whatever. Okay. I'm going to have a link in that video that goes back to Amazon where someone can purchase the book, right?
Sure.
I did a book review of Bruce Clay's marketing, and I have from that video, I formed a relationship with that company. They're an SEO company. I call Bruce Clay the godfather of SEO. I have a relationship with them. They tweet out my stuff. They share my blogs. Great relationship, all because I did a review that led back to Amazon where people can purchase the book, therefore increasing their profits. And I get like 4 cents for every book that's sold. Still, a monetization pathway.
Don't throw the money away.
That's right. So let's say you've got a new course that you're launching, or you're doing an event. A good one of my great clients is Laura. She has an eye coaching program. So the idea that I promoted to her is you create a solid landing page for that program, and then 10 videos that all lead back to that program.
Right.
Right. So it's having that end in mind. What do you want your viewer to do after watching this video? And you start there. In our formatting system that we provide our clients, we provide like an outline, like a fillable template for this kind of stuff. That's at the very top. It says monetization pathway.
Yeah.
Right. Is it an Amazon link? Is it a link to a buy page? Is it just an opt-in? Right. Because we count opt-ins as money. Right. So is it an opt-in offer? Is it a free ebook download? What is the action you want them to take?
Right.
And if you keep that relevant to the video, slow down the sales message. You don't need a thick, overbearing sales message. Just a quick, hey, and if you want more info, here it is. Hey, if you liked the product demo, you can check out more information here. Simple as that. And you move forward to the next video. That is how you create a lasting presence on YouTube that converts into dollars. Right. And that's what we are all about. I think I mentioned that. We are all about creating dollars. We're not a celebrity company, right? How do you make money on YouTube? And that's going to be different for every product service provider out there. That's why, we do this private training where we work one-on-one with our clients.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because there is a difference, right? You can make a lot of money and be somewhat anonymous, right?
Yeah.
But, celebrity does help sell, right?
Sure. And I think they complement each other. The more you sell, the more of a celebrity you'll be in your industry.
Right. So would you say, though, that somebody starting out, even if they're somewhat established, would you say, hey, focus on the money? Woo, look at that. Oh, my God. I need my glasses. That is so bright.
Do you remember in Back to the Future? I just took my hat off for those of you guys looking, and I exposed my bald head to now, the funny thing is that we're both men of faith. My big thing about this whole cancer thing is that I was losing my hair before all this happened, right? My hair's falling out. So I'm buying like these $100 shampoos and scrubbing my head and doing all these foam treatments and whatnot. And then, God chose to allow this trial in my life, and which took away my hair. And I believe that was the Lord's way of commenting on my vanity.
You were buying $100 shampoo. This was before you had cancer.
Yeah, it's $50. It's Nioxin, you know what I mean? And my hair, it was $50 on Nioxin, $50 marks on my hairstylist, right? I was doing the John Edwards thing, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sports clips anymore. I'm going to like a high end, and obviously I traded some of it out on YouTube stuff. But the idea is that I'm going to have a professional tell me how to keep my hair and how to style hair where the hairline's pulling back. So I became rather vain, and then lost my hair 3 months later.
And then God laughs at you. I've got a lady here locally, and we traded services years ago. I helped her a little bit with her website, and she's a great stylist. And I don't know, 5-6 years ago, it was $65, and I just about choked.
Oh, I know. I'm not that guy. My dad took us to a $5 barber. I remember going to a barber when I was a kid, and I'd sit down. There was a stack of Playboys right here, and it wasn't like Playboy magazines. It was more like the leather-bound collections. This guy was the real deal, and I remember thinking this is inappropriate for me, and doing that thing. So the barber, I've always been a barber guy, but that's my story about hair.
All right, yeah, I'm not spending too much money on. I like my hair short, and 9 days out of 10, I'm sitting around with a ball cap. So what the heck,
How old is your oldest? How old is your youngest?
Oldest is 18. He goes to college next week, and the baby is 16 months.
That's awesome, man. I love babies.
I got kids everywhere.
I got a few of my own.
I was going to ask something really profound, and I forgot what it was. But I
was going to ask something really profane, so I'm glad that we came into this
it's all
interview.
Good. It's all good.
Let me tell your audience about this. In terms of your video approach as a business owner has got to be for business purposes, right? Your purpose is to make money. Yep. Anyone that says differently is trying to be like a keynote speaker at a Feed the Orphans event. Now, I'm all about nonprofits. I'm very involved in the cancer community now. I'm very involved in these ministries that cater to single mothers and one-income households. That's something that's near to my heart. But you're in business to make money. So when you say, well, I just want to serve people, right? Peel that onion back another level. I understand that, but you have a family to feed. You have a car payment to make. So where do you make your money? Not where do you want to make your money, right? I spoke with the client yesterday. He told me, well, what I do is I'm a business coach. And I said, okay, that's where you make the majority of your money. He says, no, I make the majority of my money doing fire and flood restoration. I said, okay. You're an aspiring business coach with a fire and flood restoration business. Awesome. That is nothing to be ashamed of. But let's go back to how you make your money.
Right.
Right? So that's the profit center. That's where you want to filter people in so that you can get to that next level of promoting your products and services as a business coach.
Right.
Or, branching into a whole new, you're selling business coaching. What is it? What is the product or service you're leading people back to that will put income in your pocket? That's the question you must answer when you're creating your video programming strategy, content strategy.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because so many people, it's so easy to put yourself out there as a guru today and sell some hyped up program. And it's like, show me the results, show me your pathway. And is it applicable to me? Right. That's why I love what Pat Flynn has done. He was getting married or just gotten married. He had a job, he got laid off. That was my story. I didn't have time to go find myself. I didn't have time, to hit rock bottom. When I left the Air Force in 97, I had a wife. We had a young, Jake was less than a year, and we didn't even know Matthew was on the way.
Yeah.
And I had to hit the ground running, and it was commission sales. So I like to hear people's story that emulates mine, that resembles mine, because I've had this discussion with John Lee Dumas, and he's very honest about it. He's like, yeah, he was single, and he had built up money, and he could quit. He quit everything, dove in for 6 months.
I met John a few times at local events. We've done some video work with him. We did a collaboration with him recently, and I'm sure he collaborates with a ton of people, but he is a very authentic, very nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like the guy that I hear on the podcast, the same guy that I meet in person.
Even though he was in the Army, he was all right.
Massively successful guy.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
The guy developed the modern podcast sponsorship model.
Oh, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
These are good guys to be looking after and seeing what they're doing. But I think the key is converting that, into a model that works for you.
Yep.
And too many, I see too much guesswork happening in video, right? Like, well, every video is done differently, right? Imagine this.
Guesswork is everywhere.
Yeah. And this is the difference between a professional and an amateur, right? A professional seeks to eliminate the guesswork, right? The choices from the business model so that it's systematic and produces a predictable result.
Yep.
This is what your goal is with YouTube, is to create these videos that work. So imagine, if you turn on a TV show, let's say it's The Office, right? It was a very funny, popular show a couple years ago. You turn into The Office and it's hilarious and you're laughing your butt off and you're having a great time. So you tune in next week at 8:30 on Channel 4 and it's not there. And it's some other show, and The Office comes on at 9 o'clock and you're thinking, well, that's weird. It's on 8:30 last week. It comes on at 9 o'clock, but it's a whole different, it's called The Office, but it's a whole different set of actors.
Right.
And they're no longer in an office. They're actually, in a juice bar. And the characters are different. And you're thinking, what the heck is going on? Like, this is not the show that I saw last week.
Right.
That is exactly what you do to your audience when you don't create a format for creating your videos.
Right.
That's why the 6-point format is so effective.
Right.
You create the same type of video over and over again. It's duplicatable for at least 10 or 15 videos.
Right.
Give your audience a sense of trust.
Right.
That they trust they can come back to your channel at the same day every week and you'll have a new video.
Yep.
That the content will be delivered in a format that's digestible. That's you. That's authentic and that's similar to the way you did it the week before.
Right.
Right? And you create that trust with them. And over time, your model is going to evolve. It's going to grow. It's going to expand. It's going to blossom. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like a young man on the lacrosse field.
Woo!
You've got to implement that into your business model to create this loyalty that TV shows generate, because you're generating the same type of parasocial relationship, right?
Yep.
People watch The Office for 7 years. They feel like they know Michael Scott. It's like, dude, his name's not Michael Scott, right? It's whatever the actor's name is. You know what I mean? Steve Carell, right?
Right.
So you're developing this relationship with them. You want to develop that same relationship with the thousands of subscribers that you're going to generate by following the type of content that VideoSpot produces.
Right. Very nice, my brother. Well, we need to wrap this up, but I want to make sure we get a plug in for a few things. All along here in this video, I've had a little title here. So support Owen's victory over cancer, right? It's gofundme.com/lifewins. So please go there and be generous in helping my bald brother beat the cancer. But from a business standpoint, people can find you. Oh, I just moved the screen, my mouse too fast. They can find you at thevideospot.net, correct?
That's correct.
And is that where you want to send people? And then from there, they can find you on Twitter?
Go to thevideospot.net and get the ebook that will pop up on your screen. It's pretty small on mobile. We need to get a better form for mobile. But you can fill out the form from your mobile. You can fill it out from a desktop. My ebook is the best free resource on actual YouTube advice. It's not one of these learn how to shoot with your iPhone ebooks, right? Which nobody really does. Nobody on YouTube is really shooting with an iPhone unless their channel is like iPhone videos, right?
Right.
People have my point is it's real authentic information, how to develop a content strategy, how to find collaboration partners, how to actually build a brand on YouTube. I can't fit everything in that ebook, but it's a great entry point to taking a video marketing strategy to the next level. So Get the ebook, follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, and check in with our channel every week as we are producing one video a week now consistently. We were doing 2. We're trying to get back to that with the chemo. The chemo takes a whole week out of me every single month, so we're not able to do as much as we were doing before. But we are producing actively and follow the content. Right.
Very nice. All right, everybody. Please visit Mr. Owen. Like I said, gofundme.com/lifewins and thevideospot.net. Owen Hemsath, thanks for being on the Sales Podcast. How fun and inspiring was that? You can tell even as he was battling chemo, he had the chemo cough. Owen never lost his faith or spirit or sense of humor. Life does indeed win. He is beating cancer, so that is fantastic. But he kept working, right? He kept producing. He had a system. He had a schedule. If you remember, one of the things he talked about early on is the difference between professionals and amateurs, right? And amateurs wing it. Professionals have a system, and these systems create loyalty. So, go back and listen to this. Check out the notes at thesaleswhisperer.com /session 145. And you can get the notes we talked about. We talked about having, the 6-point checklist, snappy headline, graphic bumper, body copy, engagement, assets. He mentioned, close out the video, have a closeout graphic and bumper. So, a lot of advice in there. This guy knows video. Video is obviously exploding. You need to be leveraging this medium because your marketplace, your prospects are checking out video for answers. Google owns YouTube. They are presenting videos in the search results. So you need to be where your prospects are looking. Okay. So again, thesaleswhisperer.com /session 145, and be sure to check out Owen's site. Subscribe to his YouTube channel for even more tips, advice, and suggestions to help you grow and sell mo better. That'll do it for today's show, but the learning and the doing now follows. If you would like my help to implement what needs to get done, help you identify what needs to get done and the best path and the best vehicles to use to accelerate down that path, please head on over to thesaleswhisperer.com /IPA. There you will see an overview of what I call my initial process assessment. It's not expensive, but it's not cheap. But, like they say, I'd rather spend more than I wanted to than less than I should to grow my business. So if you need some help, if you'd like me one-on-one to help, again, please head on over to thesaleswhisperer.com /IPA. And as always, remember to sell different.